Are you looking to break free from your 9 to 5 and completely change your life? In this video, I'm going to break down how you can leverage $100,000 to buy a small business, allowing you to become your own boss, take back control of your time, and create generational wealth. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, and it isn't about generating streams of passive income. This is about combining money, hard work, and the opportunities of the SBA loan program to create a better future for yourself and for your family. One in which you have more control over your life and the ability to chart your own course. My name is Kira Hamilton. In 2023, I bought a laundromat for $190,000. In 16 months, I generated $285,000 in revenue and then sold the business for $300,000. I don't have an MBA or a background in business. I'm a former teacher turned entrepreneur, and I'm on a mission to help everyday people buy small businesses and achieve their American dream. Small business ownership isn't easy, but it can be very rewarding. For those who are excited to take on the challenge, who are ready to roll up their sleeves and get to work, this is for you. Before we get into the numbers, let me tell you a little bit about what I do and why I'm putting this information out there. In addition to being a former small business owner, I'm also an SBA loan broker, which means I help people get loans to buy small businesses. If you're not familiar with the world of SBA, the process of finding the right lender to work with can be time-consuming and frustrating. That's where I come in. I help clients get financing to close on their first acquisition with reputable and experienced lenders. And the great news to my clients is that because I'm paid directly by lenders when a deal closes, there's no fee to utilize my services. And I'm very incentivized for my clients to succeed because I only get paid when they're actually able to close on their deal. And that's really the difference between me and some of these other YouTubers you'll see out here trying to sell you a course on how to buy a business with no money down. I'm not interested in trying to sell you a dream that's too good to be true because one, I think it's a little shady, and two, that's just not how my business model works. I win when you win, and in order for you to win, you've got to know how. So let's get into it. How can you buy a business for $1 million that cash flows over $330,000 a year with only $100,000? It all starts with the SBA. The SBA is the Small Business Administration. It's a government program that oversees the SBA loan program, which partners with lenders across the country who issue SBA loans. The reason the SBA loans are fantastic products to use to buy small businesses is because they're very high leverage. For your first acquisition, you can get up to 90% of your total project cost financed with an SBA loan. So if you have $100,000 to invest, you could buy a business worth about $1 million. You put in 10% or $100,000, and then you get an SBA loan for 90% or $900,000. And a business of this size could reasonably be cash flowing about $330,000 a year. But what does this actually mean? To answer this question, we need to get into how small businesses are valued and how the SBA loan program works. There are a number of factors involved in determining how much money you would actually be making at the end of the day from $1 million business. One of the most important factors is the multiple. Small businesses are typically sold at a multiple of the SDE or seller's discretionary earnings. If you're not familiar with SDE, no fear. I've got a video breaking that down. Many small businesses are valued between 3 to 5 times the SDE, with smaller businesses typically valued at a lower multiple. So for a business being sold for $1 million, a 3x multiple would be reasonable. This means you'd have a seller's discretionary earnings of about $333,000. This is pre-debt and pre-tax money, meaning this is the money you're going to use to pay back your SBA loan, pay yourself, and reinvest in your business. Current interest rates for SBA loans are usually between 2 to 3 points plus prime, with today's prime rate being 7.75%. So let's say you want to buy that business for $1 million. You get an SBA loan for 90% on a 10-year repayment at a 10.25 interest rate. That gives you an annual loan payment of about $143,000, leaving you with $190,000 in pre-tax money. Now, what's important to keep in mind is this is very simple math. With SBA loans, you're also going to have some closing costs. Depending on the size, you're going to have a guarantee fee, and you may have some working capital included in your deal, which is money put into your business bank account on day one for operations. So that $1 million business, the total project cost may end up being $1,020,000. Your 10% cash injection is going to need to be 10% of the total project cost. So you may end up needing to put in $102,000, and you may end up with a slightly higher monthly payment than the example that I gave. You're also going to need some post-close liquidity. So if you literally have $102,000 sitting in your bank account, that's not going to work. Lenders are going to want to see that you have a little wiggle room for bumps that may come up in the road, whether those are business or personal. It's also possible that the business you're interested in buying is valued at a higher multiple, maybe at a 4x. At a 4x, that $1 million business is going to leave you about $106,000 after your loan payment. And maybe that's great for you. Maybe you're really happy with that number. But if you want to go bigger, listen up. The great news about being a business owner is that you're in the driver's seat. You get to decide what happens next. One option is to grow your business and then sell it for a profit. That's what I did. You can also grow your business and hold on to it. In 10 years, your SBA debt will be paid off and you'll suddenly have over $11,000 more in cash flow a month. Or you can take advantage of the business acquisition strategy that no one's talking about and really go big. Now, normally, I am really skeptical about anyone talking about buying a business with no money down, but this is one of the few ways you can actually do it. After you've completed your first acquisition and you've operated your business successfully for at least a year, you can qualify for 100% SBA financing as long as you're buying a business in the same industry and the same geographic area. And you can do this again and again. Your first business might just be the beginning. Let me know your questions in the comments and check out the show notes to see how you can get in touch with me to talk about business acquisition.